Every year I go through and organize one space of my home at a time. I'm gonna take you with me each room of the way and we're gonna pare down and declutter. I'm probably what you'd call a moderate minimalist. I don't want our home to be sparse and bare, rather selective and edited. Living simply doesn't exactly come easy to me, but I'm learning and it's making my family's life easier. Here are some positive I'm seeing from living a more minimal life. First of all, there's just less mess to clean up. Also, it saves money not shopping for unneeded things. It makes everyday life and trying to find things simpler, and it helps to use available space to its full potential. And it just feels peaceful in a clutter-free home. Simply put, the less you have, the better it will fit into your home and the less organizing you will have to do. These are my guidelines for owning and editing the things at our house. First, everything needs its own spot to be put away. A place for everything and everything in its place, as they say. Bills, bags, books, each item needs its own space. If there isn't a specific spot for an item on a shelf or in a basket somewhere, it will never be put away and be left to sit out, probably right there on the counter if your family's like mine. Number 2, try not to own more than one of something. I understand this doesn't work with everything because we each have a passion or two that calls for extras. For example, my husband likes to cook and has, in my opinion, a knife or 10 more than we need, and also wine glasses. You'll have to see that in a minute. But I think he'd tell you that I don't need to keep 10 cans of paint sitting around in the garage for my projects. But when we were pulling everything out of the garage and we were purging, we both agreed we didn't need 2 weed whackers or 5 kinds of pasta strainers. We need to ditch the duplicates. Number 3, if you don't use it or like it, you need to lose it. Some items might be difficult to part with if they have sentimental value, only you know if it's worth it to hang on to. But if it's weighing you down, consider giving it another home to love. Number 4, keep it up. It takes time to go through your house and cut through the clutter, and it really is a never-ending task. Stuff will always find a way into your house, especially with kids. Just take the time to keep evaluating and editing what you're accumulating. Let's talk about shopping. Here are some questions to ask yourself when you're shopping, and the same goes for donations or garage sale treasures. Just because it's free doesn't mean it belongs in your space. Number 1, is it something I will use on a regular basis? Do I actually plan on juicing things weekly with this juicer my friend is giving away, or will it just take up valuable cabinet space after I lose interest? Number 2, do I already have something similar? Don't we all tend to buy a couple of the same pieces of clothing over and over again? For me, it's stripes. Number 3, where will it go when I get it home? If I can't think of a place where it can have its own spot, then I probably won't buy it because it's just gonna add to the clutter. You ready to get organized? Let's go. I created this organizing planner that helps guide you through each space. I'll link it below if you'd like a copy. First up is the kitchen. Let's open up all the doors and see what we're working with. We have a lot of mugs, and this is a classic example of just because you have space for it doesn't mean you need it. Too many glasses, and we don't even drink martinis. This is cluttered and hard to get to things. Too many appliances jammed in one space here. This cabinet doesn't really make sense, but I just went through the kid cabinet recently, so this is okay. The vitamin cabinet needs some straightening, and this space still looks pretty good. So I'm starting with the crazy glass situation. No judging, okay? My husband sells wine and apparently each wine needs a different glass. I don't know. Here we're negotiating which ones to get rid of, and he did good. Okay, now I'm evaluating exactly how many mugs to keep and if I can make all the glasses fit in one cabinet. Success. So that left me with an entirely empty cabinet on the other side. I used it for Tupperware and casserole dishes. Tupperware is a place that really can get out of hand. I only keep this one set, and 2 pieces of this are in the fridge actually. And then this bowl set that has lids. These are nice because you can serve food from the bowl and then just pop a lid on the leftovers. Okay, now this crazy spot. Every time I open it, I vow to do something about it. Well, today is the day. This is where my Tupperware was, so I took that out and removed this drawer that is broken. Our laminate cabinets are 25 years old, so they've seen better days. I also took out one of the shelves so the appliances could fit even in the back. A minimalist would say I could use my Instapot for a slow cooker, but I say it doesn't do as good a job as my old one, so they both stay. It's so much better. Next is the medicine cabinet. I checked for expired bottles. I love clear bins to help organize by type. These are Dollar Tree and Five Below. I have a kid's bin, a sick bin, my bin, a pain bin, and then those little drawers hold thermometers, Band-Aids, and creams. It's not beautiful, but this cabinet at least has a function now. Paper plates, napkins, plasticware, and all my tea. Now let's move on to the drawers. Not bad. Way too much stuff. Looks good. My husband did that not too long ago. And way too much stuff. Looks okay. I'm not touching that. They call it a junk drawer for a reason. So I take everything out of this drawer, and try to eliminate duplicates, things we don't use, and make sense of this. It's so much easier to find things with less. I did the same thing with the utensils drawer. I tossed a lot of plastic stuff and just put back what we actually use. And this drawer was the worst. Way too many duplicates. I don't know how it got this dirty or where all this stuff came from. I rarely buy cooking supplies, but here we are. You can choose less utensils and display them in a canister on the counter to save drawer space. This is what we're donating, and lots more in the trash. Oh, I forgot one space, under the sink. Everything just gets tossed in there, doesn't it? I really would like this limited space to be just for dish soap and kitchen cleaning. I'm all done. It feels great to be able to access things easier and keep only what we use. Then we have the lower cabinets. And finally the drawers. It's bathroom day. My boys don't have much in their bathroom, and I give up on my daughter's barrette collection, so I'm gonna focus on my vanity. The cord situation is bad. I just need to simplify in here. So I decided to take everything out from under the sink and then evaluate each piece that I put back in. Organizing doesn't have to involve buying a lot of things, but I did buy some stackable shelves to help utilize more space. Things were really getting lost in the caddy I had. And then shoe size Dollar Tree containers help organize the things that I don't use every day. And now for this drawer of mine. It stays neat for a while, and then I start tossing random things in. So I bought a set of 7 headbands, but I really only need 1 or 2, and now they're all sitting here. I'll take out the hairdryer because I've been using that Revlon dryer wand thing, and put back only the makeup that I use. My glasses can find another home, and I'll tuck jewelry in the box. I actually did buy one other thing for the bathroom. I got this acrylic organizer at Ross for $6. I prefer less things on the counter, but I might as well organize it if it's gonna sit there anyway. Organizing doesn't work if it's not realistic for your everyday life. And being organized saved money too. I found a bottle of lotion and a tube of toothpaste I didn't know were there. And yesterday I found a full bottle of dishwasher detergent I didn't know was there. Really be ruthless and see what you can get rid of. I'm telling you, it feels great to be able to see what you have and then toss the things that you don't use. Next is the closet. Normally I would dread this part, but I'm getting better at editing and shopping less. I need to organize my shoes and go through these bags. I'll tidy my shelves. I'm not showing the world my skiffy drawers, but the drawers overall aren't too bad. I need to get rid of some jeans that have been there for too long. And kid stuff always sneaks its way in here. One thing that has been working for me is creating a wardrobe capsule for each season. This time I bought 7 pieces that mix and match and then add in some things I already have. I like to keep them in the front section of my closet to make getting ready easy. As for the rest of this stuff, I'll take the things I haven't worn in a while out and then flip the hangers the other way. Whatever I haven't worn in the next 6 months to a year will have to go. My shoes are pretty edited to things I wear, but there are still a few that can go. Putting flats and sandals in a drawer is a great way to save space. Sorting and donating some bags here. And how many sweatsuits does one need, you ask? 4 by my count. I'm going through all my jeans. There are so many that I don't wear or don't fit. And I'm done, at least for today. I'm curious to see what will stay here after I do the hanger challenge. If you haven't purged in a while, I recommend taking everything out. Take the time to try it on and ask yourself if it's something you would buy again today. It's important to love everything in your closet. 1 bag to donate and 1 bag to trash. Next on the list is the home office, or wherever you stash your papers and cords and receipts from 8 years ago you don't need anymore. Our office shouldn't be too bad because we just moved in here a few months ago because we both are working from home. This was the guest bedroom. So we'll start here. Mess. Looks good. Kids' electronics. Mess, but it's not worth it. My drawer could use a little tidying, but it doesn't look too bad. It's a good time to throw away pens that don't work and replenish supplies like stamps, envelopes, staples, etc. Oh, nice. And we come to the random cord drawer. I've been putting these off for a while. Then this IKEA wardrobe is underutilized. Empty, empty, and random papers I've also been putting off. The other side is just the printer. I'll just empty the trash on his side and leave it the way it is. I hung this organizer I had for paper or whatnot, and now I'll finally sort through these papers. I like to have files for medical, house, cars, past 5 years of taxes, financial, pets, manuals, receipts under warranty. You might also consider making a family binder with social security cards, birth certificates, marriage, divorce, death certificates, passwords, passports, car titles. It's also a good idea to consider a fire or waterproof safe. I moved my Cricut supplies from a project I did with them to these empty drawers. And next, the drawers and all those cords. Most of them are to old electronics. Now this drawer has space for camera equipment. My desk is tidied. And I still have this pile of cords to ask my husband about. But this drawer looks good, and now we have only the cords that we use here. Office, check. Let's talk about the living room. We keep it pretty simple with the pillows because kids and pillows is an uphill battle. Have a basket for blankets. And these two Besta IKEA cabinets have great storage. I put 2 of them together. We have all of our games and toys with lots of pieces here so the kids can play together at the coffee table. We use these things so much more here than if they were tucked away in a closet. We've covered the main spaces, but what about all those random spots that accumulate stuff? We all have a drop zone whether we want one or not. It doesn't have to be a beautiful mudroom. I bought this simple rack and it's working great for us. This is a tiny closet in our hallway I turned into a cleaning hub. It helps to group like things in each zone. Before, the vacuum was in the laundry room, some spray bottles under the sink, and some in the pantry. This is much simpler. We put 2 IKEA Pax wardrobes on either side of the wine cooler. They don't take up too much space, but offer a lot of storage. Inside we have the kid cabinet. They each have a shelf for homework and school items, and then craft supplies are above. Next is a set of folding chairs and table, along with some bulky decor items and a high chair for friends with littles. On the other side are faux flowers, home decor, candles, all kinds of stuff. This could be better organized, but I've got more pressing issues. I'll show you. Oh, and if you don't have enough drawer space, you can hang tablecloths to save space. Now we're going to move into some of my problem areas, the laundry room and playroom. I need to take things out that don't belong here and straighten this pegboard. Everything gets tossed in these baskets that are supposed to be for plastic bags on one side and laundry products on the other. Okay, that's looking better. Let's work on the pegboard. Pegboards are a great way to utilize a blank wall. They're versatile and make it easy to see what you have. They'd be great for art supplies and cookware as well. This is the room I've been putting off. Believe it or not, it's not the toys that are bothering me. It's a well-used playroom, and it's okay if it looks like this sometimes. This is the problem. Yep. Our garage is not attached to our house, so I just keep things here for convenience, but clearly it's gotten out of hand. My kids are usually in charge of picking up in here, and they're pretty good about it, but today I did it really quick. And now I'm gonna start on this. I'm taking everything out and realizing that I'm holding on to things I don't use, even broken things. And here's where people get stuck, myself included. I have old stencils with caked on paint, a ripped backdrop, a light set that doesn't work, leftover wallpaper, more stencils, fabric I don't sew with, and frames I'm not using. And this bounce house needs to go in the garage, and that floor cleaner broke. I was thinking I should put more cabinets here, like the ones in the dining room, but really this closet should be plenty. I'll just fill more shelves with more stuff. And here's what happens when you keep too much paint. It's dried now, but stop saying I told you so. So it's not Pinterest worthy, but it makes more sense. These are things I actually use instead of storing a bunch of things that I don't. Honestly, I'm embarrassed by the waste. I almost filled these up, but these things do not need to be sitting in our house, collecting dust. Some of these things I've been carrying around with me from house to house for the last 15 plus years. It's a good reminder for me to buy less. And the final thing I'm tackling in this video are the kids' rooms. This is my boys' shared room, or Lego Central. I'm really okay with all the Lego. It's such a great toy, but I need to throw away some trash and do some editing. I'll start with the desks and the stray Lego pieces. The kids are normally in charge of picking up their rooms, but sometimes it needs mom's attention in a trash bag. My kids have uniforms, so I put this dresser here to separate their play clothes from the school clothes. I poked some things in the back of their closet I need to address as well. This is the process I came up with that seems to work for us. Take out clothes that don't fit out of the dresser, keep a bin with clothes too small so you can pass it down or donate it, and keep a bin with clothes too big that's found on sale or passed down as well. I prefer clear bins for everything so I can see what's inside. Each kid has their own hamper, clearly labeled. We still need to do laundry, but it's crazy how many of their school clothes were stained or torn. The end of the school year is always a good time to edit so you can see what you need for the next year. I went through the other dresser as well, asking my boys what doesn't fit and what they won't wear. Now there are only clothes they wear in their drawers. There wasn't much to donate here because the boys are hard on their clothes, but it feels good to get rid of these unneeded things. And when the kids are home, when I'm doing laundry, I ask them to help. Now for my daughter's room. It actually looks worse than it is because I have gone through her clothes every few months. I'm gonna take down the pop-up tent so we can see what we're working with. We've got papers and plastic party junk, deflating balloons, and the bag is filling up fast. Each of the kids have a drawer or two for whatever junk, treasures, they want to keep, and they know I won't touch it. I'm asking her what she'll wear because there's no use clogging up drawer space with things that she won't. Once they have a set number of clothes, I stop buying. I try to choose items that mix and match or that have the same color palette. We live in Florida, so we can get away with less clothing. This drawer is play clothes, and then the drawer below that is for school uniforms. Hooks work great for her multiple outfit changes. She can hang them up herself too. Just a couple other tips. I color code. Each kid has a color for like items. They have their color a cup for the entire day. And in my experience, kids are 1,000,000 times more likely to hang the towel on a hook rather than a bar. I'm pretty sure that's an accurate statistic. Maybe your house is pretty organized but could use some tidying. Here's a weekly checklist to get things back in place. As well as 30 days of the more forgotten about areas. Maybe I'll even get to that junk drawer. Now that I've spent time editing our home, it makes me want to be more careful about what comes into it. When we shop for pleasure, we not only spend money unnecessarily, but we also add to the amount of things in our care. And it doesn't have to be bought. We should also pay attention to the thrifted or free things we accept into our life. The less things we have, the easier it is to stay organized. If you feel overwhelmed, just start somewhere, anywhere. Do one drawer. It's not a race, just keep moving forward. This is gonna be so freeing for your life. Perfect is not the goal, but simple is.